Welcome back to another video. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I'm back at it again. So basically the title of this video, as you guys can clearly see, I will be going through essentially another discovery call that didn't really convert into a closing call. So obviously that way you guys are able to see what I did wrong, what I did right, what the client or like the prospect had said to kind of like tell me that look, like this isn't a lead that's kind of worth my time to be moving on to a closing call. So kind of like getting into like a little bit more in depth on these calls, that way you guys can learn, right? So without further ado, like I said, if you guys haven't seen my other videos, I'll probably just like stop the videos if there is something that I want to tell you guys, if there is specific things that I want to talk about. So yeah, other than that, guys, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Make sure you guys have a pen and paper to take down some notes. And other than that, let's just pretty much get straight into it here.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Cool. Any, are you just coming back from work or?
Just doing errands and stuff like that. Just get back on the thing.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, appreciate you for joining. I know we had a phone call, so I just wanted to kind of, before we dive in, just kind of like.
And just to let you guys know, this call was probably, this was on April 29th. It's currently July 4, so May, June. So it's about like 2 months per se.
Have some foundations in place, right? So you get some clarity on what this call is about, right? So, yeah, before we dive in, I know we have about like 20 to 25 minutes here. So today's call, obviously the goal is to, keep it simple. Obviously have, be able to make sure that I understand your processes and your operations a little bit more clearly. See if we're even able to help out in the first place, or not, right? See where you're looking to optimize, and, if it makes sense, we can definitely move forward. If it not, obviously if it doesn't, then we can definitely end up the meeting here on good terms, if that sounds fair enough to say.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I know you mentioned that, let me just pull up the notes here. So you mentioned that you're currently just working in terms of like manual admin work, and you're looking to obviously prioritize bringing in new clients. Is that correct?
Yeah, I work with Topline Pro.
Okay.
That runs my website. And they do a lot of, like I'll post pictures to my website or to like the site foundation, and then they'll create like ads and stuff like that I'll post on my social media, Google. But I do it to where I think they're posting like 2 or 3 a week, I believe. And then they have a couple things to like Nextdoor for like prospect feeds and stuff. But still looking and trying to figure out how to get more calls for sure. Our season for pressure washing is pretty much like March until August. And then when holidays come, that goes into, just in those are on season. So it's like a heavy flow of the summer, really, spring, summer, fall. And then,
spring, summer, fall.
Yeah. And then, so we're trying to figure out we're working on trying to do more commercial work. For the off season, say like January, December, all that stuff, just to get through those months.
Okay. So are you typically just working? Sorry to cut you off there. Are you typically working with just residential right now, or are you also working with commercial?
Sometimes it's good to cut people off when they're just like rambling about like some I wouldn't say nonsense, but like just things that don't really push the meeting forward, right? So you see how I kind of like said sorry to cut you off. Don't say sorry to cut you off, but just cut them off, bro. Like literally just cut them off. Like don't say, hey, I'm sorry to cut you off. Oh, my bad about the cutting you off. I want to tell you this. Don't do that. Just be like, okay, blah, blah, XYZ, go into your question.
Is what we're trying to commercial.
So I have a couple.
And make sure your questions are very minor. Like, not minor as in like, like not important questions, but I'm talking about like, instead of like saying like, hey, like, how's your day going? You could say something like, hey, how's your day? Right? So kind of like keeping it a little short and simple.
I work with a local restaurant around here that I've been doing for like 8 years. And then I just got into our first job with them commercial wise is storage units. We're doing their windows like quarterly. But those are the things that we're trying to get into. Like me and my business partner, Brandon, went around and did the old school way, going to businesses, trying to get out to like car dealerships, do their windows, stuff like that. And a lot of in like gas stations, like a lot of these places are going through corporate now, where Brandon's main business is working for a company called Philron. They have this system to where he can get like the actual, like once he finds out there, he can get the GM's actual number, get in contact with him if we can get to that. But that's the hard part, is like all these gas stations like Parker's and, corporate places, you have to go through like Texas, all across the country to try to do it. And then you see somebody doing it and it's some Joe Schmo that it just doesn't make sense. And it's like, how can we get into that? Like get in there.
Okay, so it seems like you guys are trying to transition into more commercial rather than like more residential, since there's more. Since there's more profit towards commercial clients.
Right, because the residential is coming in, no problem. It's the commercial work that'll keep us afloat for a lot of different things. Because if we can fit that in, then we definitely need that. For sure.
Okay, gotcha. So in terms of
we live on a resort island, 12 by 6 mile island.
Okay.
You know, and so everything is local around here. Everything is. So
Okay.
that's a benefit. You know, I'm born and raised here, so word of mouth is huge. But it's 2026. Word of mouth only goes so far these days.
Okay, gotcha. So I guess just to get some clarity here, right? I mean, what would you say your main goal right now? It's like, is your main, or I guess your main priorities at the moment? Would you say it's more bringing in more new leads, more new clients, or would you say it's more of a prioritization to get your systems in place, get your operations on the back end in place to be able to handle more new clients coming in?
The handling of new clients is not a problem. I've been doing this for about 15 years now personally.
Okay.
So we've got the equipment, we've got the capability of handling more clients, but we need to get more clients. There's been such an influx of companies coming from everywhere because when I first started, there was 5 to 10 companies. Now there's like 50 to 60. So it's so much harder because a lot of these guys are coming in that are financing all their equipment and can finance and then can mass media everything out there. That's something like me being a small business.
Correct.
Can't afford to do.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, I know you've been in business for 15 years, right? But I mean, in those 15 years, have you ever thought of like, working with?
Again, the stuff he said was kind of important, but at the same time, like near the end, it wasn't really important. I should have cut him off, but hey, like at least he's not like rambling on.
A third-party service provider to help you out on that end? Because I mean, being a small business owner, doing everything yourself, is a lot of work, right?
Right.
Obviously, take a lot of time, a lot of energy. So, have you ever thought about even working with not us, but like working with somebody else before in the past to help you out? With
I had always, until recent years, it was never like I was always just self-taught, so it was just one of those things. Try to figure out how to do it, and I figured I could do it, and then I just started giving it into where things like trusting the process, because you know how much scamming stuff going on. Like,
Yeah.
you never know which side to trust. What link you click on, everything's about like just sell. I get it. I'm in that business. But until now, like there's just no way to do it by myself. I know that for a fact. So in the previous, I want to say about 5 years ago, I've needed to do it. I had a business that could afford to do it. My old business partner screwed me over, took everything, and I started from scratch. So now that I'm back and everything is coming back to suits where things are capable to be able to start doing that. We're not fully there, but we're almost there. Like we're on the cusp of being back to where I was. And so we just need that little extra edge. But now, yes, third party wise is something that I just know, just seeing what the business, like the website, what Topline's done just on that aspect, then how much more it has grown of this year than I could have done personally.
Okay, gotcha. So with that being said, right, I mean, because I know you're doing everything manually right now, which is, fine, but obviously, and I assume your main goal here is to scale the business. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so I mean, like you mentioned, you're looking to scale this business. So obviously being able to do everything manually by yourself isn't really going to be, the case moving forward, because as you scale business, you understand that you can't do everything yourself, right? So I guess right now in this like scenario we're at right now in this stage of business, where do you feel like the majority of your time is going towards right now? Like, is it client fulfillment? Is it working on the admin work? Is it handling your team? Like, what do you feel like is the biggest time constraint for you right now?
Answering phone calls, I mean, job every day.
Okay.
I'm always out there with them. Like I only have like 1 to 2 guys out there at the moment because people like to call out of work all the time, and so it's hard to keep even employees. It's ridiculous.
Okay. How many phone calls?
So it's always. Recently, I mean, it fluctuates, of course. But there's days where I'll sell 5 jobs. There's days that I'll sell 2. Days that I sell 1. Some days, like the past 2 days, I didn't get a phone call at all.
So it's very inconsistent.
Yeah, it's spotty for sure.
Okay. So so I know you mentioned that you close 5 clients a day or one day, and then you close like 0, and then you close like 3, and then sometimes you get 0 phone calls. But like on average, like how many phone calls do you typically get like per day?
Per day, probably like 3, 4.
3, 4 phone calls. Okay.
And I need more than that for sure, because because it started the season starts off always rock hard, gung ho, and then of course it's always going to slow down just because and that's the issue with having so many different companies in such a small area as well. And we're trying to find this like a niche that's different than everybody, and there's only so far you can go with it, you know what I mean? But there's things that I just need to be able to offer that other people aren't doing. What are your
services? Like I know it's pressure washing. Do you guys do gutter cleaning as well as like window cleaning, or?
Yeah, we do window cleaning, roof cleaning, interior, exterior windows, driveway cleaning, screen porches. I can do rust removal. I do teak furniture cleaning. We do vinyl windows. Those are things that other companies, I found a niche in that. People don't do vinyl window. Like there's only a couple companies that know how to do it correctly. And I found my niche in that because I used to work with a guy that knew how to do it. So I'm doing that. And that's bringing me a new clientele because other companies won't touch it.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. So let's do this. I mean, before I share you my screen here, right, Jeremy, I just want to get some clarity on this, just to see if we're able to kind of hit like a benchmark, or just for me to, obviously get some sort of like understanding of what you're trying to get at, or what your goals are, right? So in terms of leads and in terms of bringing on new clients, because I feel like this is more of a volume issue rather than like system wise, is there like a specific benchmark number you're trying to like reach, like a number of jobs you're trying to aim for, like each month?
Yeah, I'm trying to at least 2 jobs a day, 2 to 3, like easy a day.
2 to 3.
3 would be ideal, but if like we could have one job that's, we're searching for that $1,000 a day. We charge $100 an hour. We don't do it hourly. It's off the job. But 3 jobs we could do. 3 jobs would make 3 to 4 jobs at $250 a piece makes $1,000 a day. And that's easy to do, you know, so that is our goal in terms of that.
Okay, so 3 jobs per day, that leaves you about 20 jobs per week, and then 20 jobs per week times 4. So around like 80 new clients or 80 clients to service per month.
Correct.
Okay. Now, if we were able to help you get to that point, right? I mean, do you feel like, is that, you know, something that you're going to be too overwhelmed with, or do you feel like you're able to handle that, like at the moment, like at this, you know, scenario that you're in right now, like where your business?
Yeah, I've literally been doing that all spring, like, and everything. I know I can do that. That's definitely not a problem.
Okay, gotcha. Then let's do this. Let me show you my screen, because obviously just from this conversation alone, I do have some sort of understanding of exactly what it is that you might be looking for. So give me a quick second here while I share my screen, and then let me know if you're able to see my screen here, Jeremy. So, sorry, give me a quick second here. I don't know why it's not loading. Let me see. Okay, it should be loading, but give me a quick second here. Let me just pull up a different tab. Okay, so let me know if you're able to see my screen here.
Yes, I can.
Okay, cool. I know it might be a little small because you're.
I'm able to zoom in. I can zoom in on it.
Okay, you're on your phone, correct, or your iPad? Or?
Yeah, I'm on my phone. Yes, but I can zoom in on it. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's exactly why, I like to have these meetings on computers, so you have, better visual screen. But that's fine. Being on your phone doesn't really matter. So this is essentially the, actually, sorry, let me come back to my other one right here. So this is essentially the one that, obviously everything that we do here is custom, right? So there's not really an exact offer or exact system that we implement for you, right? For our other clients. Just because everybody's business is different, right? I mean, some people, want more leads, but they want those leads qualified. So we have systems in place for that. Some people just want website optimizations, right? I mean, they're okay with bringing on leads, they're already okay with bringing on clients. It's just like their website needs to be more optimized. So we have other separate systems in place for that. So everything that we do here is custom, but I mean, this is essentially how it works, right? So in your case scenario, this essentially resonates to you the most, right? So this is how this specific system works, right? So instead of, you having to, market in terms of like having to door knock or having to send out flyers, having to go to networking events to just get people to, obviously, book on with you, we essentially help you run your meta ads for you as well. I know you're already working with Top Notch to do Google SEO and other marketing resources as well, right? But in this case scenario, we do have meta ads that we're essentially creating for you. So how this essentially works for Pillar 1 is we're essentially sending you the scripts for the ads for you to film. Now, if you don't want to film any ads, that's totally fine. We have a few clients that don't want to film ads. So we have AI looking, human, realistic looking actors essentially create ads for you as well, right? And we send these over to our editing team to make sure that we edit those videos. That way it looks appealing to the audience, and that way they book on with you, right? Once we edit them and once we send you those ads for your approval, and once you do approve those ads, then that's when those ads will be pretty much launched, and that's when the leads are flowing, right? Now, this is where most marketing agencies and most people kind of like get it wrong, right? A lead comes in and they just pretty much just leave it towards you to hopefully for you to, fingers crossed, to close the client when they book on, right?
Right.
But that's not what we do here. Obviously, what we do here is a little bit more in depth and more concise. So once the leads are collected on a form, they're essentially converted onto your calendar, right? If you don't have a calendar, that's totally fine. We can create you one. That's not a big deal. But once they are essentially collected on a form, and the reason why we collect their information on a form, not for you to see, well, obviously you're able to see the information, but it's for also us and for you to be able to see, are they even qualified to be even, reached out to, right? You don't want to waste your time on tire kickers. You already have a lot of stuff already on your plate. We don't want you to spend time on a phone call with someone who's looking at 5 windows washed and who's like 30 miles out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. And I know you get a lot of calls like that. Like a lead calls you, oh, I'm just trying to get 5 windows washed. How much would that be? I know you probably get a lot of calls like that.
Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because you want to make analogies, right? You want to make sure that, hey, these are specific situations that you're facing that we can help, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, so we want to essentially eliminate that. That way, once the leads are collected on the form, and let's say a lead fills out the form saying they want 24 windows done and they're 5 miles out, boom, now you would actually call, right? Yeah. And that's obviously for you to close the deal. But other than that, that's essentially what we want to optimize for, right? Not only are we bringing you more leads, but we're also helping you save more time, and we're optimizing your time more effectively as a business owner should.
And that's the easy part. I can sell blade grass to a landscaper.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and also with that being said, we can also help you build AI assistants and automations to reach out to those clients 24/7, right? Let's say you're out of office hours, you don't have time, or you're doing something right now, you're running errands, and you're not able to answer calls, or you're not able to text back immediately, right? We essentially could create an AI assistant to also help you reach out to those clients, personalized towards how your texting style is or how you essentially talk to clients. So we have an AI assistant to reach out to them as well for you, right? Okay. We also have AI-powered text and email automation. So whenever there's specific emails or texts you want to send to them, but you don't have time to send over, we also have an automation to text them and also email those clients for you as well, right? And all that's essentially integrated directly into your schedule, into your calendar. And then the biggest thing for us as well is most people don't realize this. I don't know if you did realize this, but most clients or most people try to essentially bring on new clients, but they're not focusing on the other clients, which is on their back end, right? The historic data, right? The clients, they've already washed their windows, but they haven't reached back out in 6 months. That's just kind of that's essentially like lost revenue, just piling up, right? So we also have an automation to essentially reach out to those leads by sending out an automation to kind of keep them in the funnel, right? Like saying just for example, hey, this is Jeremy, with XYZ window washing or XYZ pressure washing. I know we cleaned your windows. I know we pressure washed your driveway about 6 months ago. We haven't heard back from you 6 months ago. Just wondering if you're still looking to get your driveway washed again or pressure washed again, right? So now you're essentially keeping every single lead in the loop. That way, what they're essentially going to obviously, if they don't reach out to you, they're going to get those texts, they're going to get those emails out to them, reminding them, oh, I'm looking for someone to clean my driveway. I'll just hit this guy up because I already worked with him, right?
Yeah.
So now you're essentially converting old revenue into revenue, and then new revenue into new revenue as well for new clients.
Yeah, because that's what I do with jobbers. I have to ask them if they want it for next year, and if they say yes, then I put them on for the following year. But I have to manually put that in
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, and that's what we do automated. So now you don't have to do that manually, if that makes sense.
Right. Yep. For sure.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, that's essentially like the whole system in terms of like what pertains to you. We have other systems as well, but I mean, I don't want to fill your brain and overwhelm you with other systems because like that's not what your goal is right now.
No, that seems like exactly what I like. Something like that is what I need, honestly.
Yeah, 900%. So let's do this, right? Obviously, I know we're kind of running out of time here, and I know you probably have other stuff to do as well. So what we can essentially do from here is just based on everything we talked about on this call. Before I share the investments as well, and before we talk about the investments, in the first place.
So this is where like I shouldn't really have. Okay, so overall, I've done a little bit more of the talking, which sometimes on discovery calls you need to make sure that the prospect does more talking. And honestly, look, this is where a lot of people get sales wrong. They think it's about talking, but it really isn't. It's about listening more in sales. So I should have listened a little bit more, gained a little bit more clarity and context, before I kind of went into like the investments and went into like his long-term goal or what he's looking to achieve.
Is what we'll do is we'll have another follow-up meeting. And on that follow-up call, we'll essentially go to a whole presentation tailored to what exactly this call was about. So it's essentially going to be your own presentation, right? It's going to be like your own personalized presentation. So typically it takes us about a day. I'll talk to my developers about this as well. They'll go through the whole call. They'll see what exactly your problems are. They'll pretty much figure out like a solution as well to the problems. And then from there, we'll definitely talk about investments. We'll definitely talk about like what we'll do, how we'll set up the system, and how we'll pretty much move forward. And obviously, if we do move forward from that call, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I would love to, like once it's everything, we see everything.
Yeah.
For sure. And just once I'm able to see everything, because I mean, at this point, anything, as long as it's not like something astronomical to where it's like going to kill me price wise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then
Yeah,
I don't see a reason why, if I'm making money, then it's worth it. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So,
Yeah, 100%. So listen to this. Let me actually look at my calendar here right now, Jeremy. So give me a quick second.
Okay.
You're in Eastern, right? I just want to clarify. You're in
yes.
Eastern.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'm over here. Funny that you said Texas earlier on the call because I am actually in Texas right now. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean it's pretty hectic. I don't know. I'm over here in Austin, but so let me.
All right. There was no reason for me to do that. Just that was like no reason for me to say anything. So for your guys' information, don't even say like dumb shit like that, to be honest, because like it was low key awkward. I'm not gonna lie.
See, I do have availability for tomorrow. I don't know what times work best for you, but I also do have Friday as well if that works better for you.
Hold on one second. Let me look at my calendar.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time.
Tomorrow. Yeah, so I mean, tomorrow afternoon about the same time would be best. Friday, I've got like 4 jobs Friday, so I don't know what time I'm going to be.
Oh, okay. 4 jobs Friday. We'll definitely shoot for Thursday.
But tomorrow I have 1 job tomorrow. So I know I'll definitely be off at this time for sure.
Okay, you want to shoot for? I don't have a 5 p.m., but I do have a 6 p.m. your time if you want to shoot for 6 p.m.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, are you sure that's a good time for you?
Yeah, that'll be fine. I mean, I'll be at the house. I work and I come home and chill. I'm not going to be anywhere. I know that for a fact. So.
Okay, cool. And yeah, I mean, like I said, if you want to also join the call with your business partner, feel free to also let me know. I mean, I'm more than also happy to go through the whole presentation with you guys both on the call.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see what he's doing. I'm away. He's on a phone call from across country in Italy, and people talking to people selling. He sells chemicals to people all over the world. So I get to talk to him like once a morning every day. So
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I'll see what his schedule is tomorrow, and I'll let him know what's going on. If not, he'll just tell me to let him know.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So give me a quick second here, Jeremy. Let me shoot you this invitation actually, so that way you're able to get that invitation for tomorrow. So I just shot it over to you, so let me know if that came through on your end. It should be from David O. It should be Jeremy.
Is it a text message?
It'll be a text message and it should be an email that should be sent to you right now.
Take a second.
Okay, so I think that it's gonna be the end of the video, guys. Or yeah, basically the end. So basically, he's more of a long-term nurture. Now the reason why you guys might be wondering like if he's paying $50 is because every time someone meets with us, and it's non-refundable by the way, we want to make sure that you get what your time is valued at, right? For example, this was a 30-minute call, and if you had another call with somebody else, right, and closed them, you could have made more than $50, obviously, right? So you want to make sure that you have like a fee where it's like, hey, I'm interested, but I don't think it's the right time for me. So that's the reason why the deposit is essentially in place. And at the end of the day, yes, I did get the deposit, but I still haven't heard from this specific lead since April 29, right? On him wanting to work with us. So overall, guys, this was one of my better calls. It's not the best one, but it could have been much more better. So hopefully you guys learned a lot from this video. If you guys have any specific questions, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.